Hey friends, my name is Z and you're watching MakesItEasy, and welcome to a new video for IGCSE Business Studies. And today we have section 3, which is marketing. And for the first specification or the first lesson for marketing, we have 3.1, marketing, competition and the customer or the consumer. And by the end of the lesson, you should be able to describe 3.1.1, the role of marketing, 3.1.2, the market changes, 3.1.3, the concepts of niche marketing and mass marketing, and 3.1.4, how and why market segmentation is undertaken. So check out the pinned comment for all the timestamps. But we'll move on now to 3.1.1, the role of marketing. So firstly, we have identifying customer needs and the marketing department. Most businesses, unless they are very small, will have a marketing department, and marketing is basically identifying customers' wants and satisfying them profitably. Large businesses will have different sections within their marketing department, including like the sales team. Like here we have a diagram, but here's what it means. The sales team is responsible for the sales of the product. The market research team, like the section over here, is responsible to finding out like what customer wants and their needs, the market changes, and the impact of competitors' action. The promotion section deals with organizing the advertising for products, and it arranges for its advertisement to be produced. And distribution transport the products to the market. So it's like these four are like the backbones of the marketing team. Then we have the role of marketing, including all these right here, sub-specification point. Marketing is not just about advertising and selling a good or service. The central role of marketing undertakes the following. Number 1, identifying customer needs by finding out what kind of products or services like the customers want, the price they are willing to pay, where and how they want to buy these goods and services, and what after-sales services they might want. Number 2, satisfying customer needs so that the goods and services can be sold profitably with in the profit for the company. Customers want the right product and in the right place and at the right price. And failure to meet these needs or doing it less well than competitors will lead to business facing the risk of closure, because then the customer won't choose to buy their product but buy someone else's or their competitors. Number 3, maintain customer loyalty. By building customer relations and keeping close links with customers and finding out if products or services are continuing to meet their needs will help to ensure the success of business. Maintaining a close customer relationship is very important in keeping existing customers, like customer loyalty, and not just concentrate on attracting new ones. Number 4, build customer relationships to gain information about customers, and by building a long-term relationship with them so that their changing needs can be understood. And lastly, anticipate changes in customer needs by identifying new trends in customer demand or gaps in the market so that businesses can produce goods or services which are currently not available to them. Then we have more the role of marketing. If the marketing department is successful in identifying customer requirements and predicting the future customer needs, it should enable the business to raise customer awareness of a product or services, increase revenue and profitability, increase or maintain market share, maintain or improve the image of products or a business, target a new market or market segment, enter new markets at home or abroad, and develop new products or improve existing products. Then we have 3.1.2, market changes. So here's why customer or consumer spending patterns may change. So to understand market changes, the world of markets and marketing is constantly changing, and it is very unusual if a business doesn't have to change its goods and services over time to respond to important market changes. Some markets are changing at a rapid pace, such as mobile phones, whereas other markets like breakfast cereals don't change very quickly. And here's why their customer or consumer spending patterns change. Number 1, Consumer tastes and fashions change, as fashion may change for clothes, and so consumers may want to buy different styles of clothes to those they wore last year. The change in technology, with new products being developed such as iPads, tablets, sales of desk computers have fallen in many countries. New products means old versions do not have high sales anymore because people would want to have high technology item. Change in income. If an economy has high unemployment, then many consumers will buy cheaper products. If the economy then grows and unemployment falls, the sales of more expensive products will increase, as they have more disposable income. An aging population. The age structure of the population in many countries is changing to a greater percentage of older people. This has changed the type of products which are increasing in demand, like anti-aging face creams for women. Then here's the importance of changing customer needs and why some markets have become competitive. So the power and importance of changing customer needs. If businesses fail to respond to customer needs, then they are likely to fail because the customer is king. Because as their needs change, it is the businesses which research and know what these changes are and respond to them that will be successful. And why have some markets become competitive? Globalization of markets has meant that the products are increasingly sold all over the world, and globalization is basically when a company goes set up factories or industry worldwide. Transportation improvements have meant that it is easier and cheaper to transport products from one part of the world to another. And internet or e-commerce has meant that consumers can search for products and buy from overseas market using your Google or any website. Even some services such as insurance can be bought from businesses based in another country, and increased consumer information about products and the different international businesses that produce them makes a market much more competitive. Then we have how businesses can respond to changing patterns. So here's how can businesses respond to a changing spending patterns and increased competition. A business will have to take action to maintain its level of sales and market share whenever there are changes to spending patterns or increasing competition. In order to remain successful, a business may need to do the following. Number one, maintain good customer relationships, and this has a key role in continuing to meet customer needs, and it also provides market research information about the customers. And the marketing departments will become experts on customer needs and will respond to these needs to maintain customer loyalty. Keep improving its existing product for number two. And this is especially important or true if its competitors improve their products. And by making goods or services, it sells very different from those produced by competitors, and the business will become well known for differentiated products. Number three, bring out new products to keep customers' interest in the company rather than its competitors, and this will help the business to maintain or even increase its market share. Number four, keep costs low to maintain competitiveness, as it should help to keep the prices low. Now we have 3.1.3, the concepts of niche marketing and mass marketing. Here's the benefits to both approaches to marketing. But what is meant by a market? A market for a particular good or service is made up of total number of customers and potential customers, as well as sellers for that particular good or service. It can be measured by the total number of sales or by the value of the sales for that good or service by all suppliers of that particular good or service. These can either be mass marketing or mass market or niche market. So here's mass marketing at first. Mass marketing is where, or mass market is where there's a very large number of sales of a product. And in these markets, many people in the population will buy the product, like washing powder or soap. And the products are designed to appeal to the whole market, and therefore advertising and promotions are intended to appeal to more customers. Advantage of selling to a mass market is that total sales in these markets are very high. The business can benefit from economies of scale. The risk can be spread, as often the business will sell several different variations of products to the mass market, and if one variety of the product fails, then the other products may still sell well. For example, you have different colors of a water bottle or anything else. And lastly, opportunities for growth of the business due to large potential sales. But disadvantage of selling to a mass market is that high levels of competition between businesses selling similar products. There's a high cost of advertising and promotion, and standardized products or services are produced and so may not meet the specific needs of all customers, therefore leading to a lost sales. And here's niche marketing or niche market. A niche market is a small, usually specialized segment of a much larger market. A niche market refers to the products sold only to a very small number of customers, and these products are quite often specialized and sold by small businesses that will find it difficult to compete in the mass market. Here's the advantage of identifying and supplying a niche market. Small businesses may be able to sell successfully in niche market as larger businesses may not have identified them, but concentrated on the mass market instead. This will reduce competition from the larger businesses in niche markets. And number 2, the needs of consumers can be more closely focused on and therefore targeted by businesses in the niche market. This may lead to higher levels of consumer loyalty and good customer relations. But disadvantage of identifying and supplying a niche market. Niche markets are usually relatively small and therefore have limited sales potential, meaning it is likely that only small businesses can operate profitably in these markets. If the business wants to grow, you will need to look outside the niche market to develop products for the mass market as well. And number 2, often businesses in a niche market will specialize in just one product, and this means that if the product is no longer in demand, the business will fall as the business has not spread its risk. But if the product is very in demand, there will be a high reward, and as the saying goes, high risk, high reward. Then lastly, we have 3.1.4, how and why market segmentation is undertaken, and how markets can be segmented. And market segment is an identifier subgroups of a whole market in which consumers have similar characteristics or preferences. Market segmentation is when the market is broken down into subgroups which share similar characteristics. For example, chocolates for young children, teenagers, and adults. The market for a particular good or service is made out of the total number of customers and potential customers for the particular good or service. So it's a typo here. And market segmentation recognizes that the potential users of a good or service are not all the same, and that what appeals to one set of consumers may not appeal to other set of consumers. A marketing department will divide the whole market into different groups and categories, and these are called market segments. Each segment is researched into great detail, for example in advertising, and the marketing department knows the best places to advertise, and they will know how to design the advertisement to appeal to the target market segment. And besides that, segmenting a market can help a business to, number 1, make marketing expenditure cost effective by producing a product which slowly meets the needs of the customers and targeting its marketing efforts only on this segment. Number 2, enjoy higher sales and profits for the business because of cost-effective marketing. And number 3, identify a market segment which isn't having its needs fully met and therefore offers opportunities to increase sales. Then we have some different groups of market segment. Number 1, by socio-economic group. Social and economic is combined. Income groups can be defined as grouping people's job according to how much they are paid. For example, managers are paid more than office workers. This means that products are priced differently to target certain income groups. For example, cars range in size, performance, and price level. And number 2, by age. The products bought by different people in different age groups will not be the same. Young people buy different clothes to elderly people, and the toys bought for babies will vary for those bought for older children. Number 3, by region or location. In different regions of the country or in the world, people might buy different products. For example, if there are dry and wet parts of a country, then waterproof clothing will be sold in the rainy part of the country. And if a product is exported, then it may need to be changed slightly. For example, a different name or different packaging, in order to appeal to the taste of people in other countries. And a clear example of this, different exported product, is that cars. And in most Western countries or in some Western countries like America, the driver's seat is on the left of the car, But in countries in like the UK or any Asia countries, the driver's seat is on like the right. So they will have to change it by region or location depending on where it's like exported to. Then we have by gender. Some products are bought by only by women or by men. For example, shaving razor would be normally bought by a man, whereas a perfume would normally be bought by a woman. And by the use of the product. For example, cars can be used by consumers for domestic use or for business use. And the advertising media and promotion methods will differ. Cars for business use may be advertised by sending brochures to other businesses, whereas cars for domestic use may be advertised on television. And by lifestyle, for example, a single person earning the same income as a married person with 3 children will spend their income very differently and by buying different products. Businesses can aim their products at people who enjoy different lifestyles. And here's potential benefits of segmentation to like the business. And businesses can use market segmentation to sell more products. They do this by making different brands of like a product and then aiming each brand at different market segment. For example, for soap, a business could produce various brands of soap to satisfy most of the market segments. And by finding out the different segments, a business can sometimes identify a segment whose needs are not being met, meaning there is a gap in the market. It can then produce a suitable product to meet these customers' needs and again increase sales due to supply and demand. A marketing manager would take all these factors into account when deciding which segment has been identified. This will influence how the products are packaged and advertised. It will also affect the choice of shops the products are sold in order to get maximum sales. For example, you wouldn't sell like jewelry on let's say supermarket or anything. You would sell it at a more high-end let's say you would sell jewelry in a high-end shopping mall or any high-end shops. And which method of segmentation to use for that justified and appropriate method. Different businesses will segment markets in different ways. A business that runs a number of gyms is likely to use consumer lifestyle as a way of segmenting the market. A health and beauty products business is more likely to use genders as the most important way of segmenting the market. In contrast, a jewelry maker will segment the market into designs affordable to consumers with different income levels. The factors of a business will consider before choosing an appropriate method of segmentation include: number 1, detailed analysis of the market and the size of each potential segment in terms of consumers and likely sales. Number 2, the company image and brand image. As a high-tech business will have an excellent reputation for innovation and will not want to produce low-priced goods for low-income consumers. And number 3, the cost of entering each segment, let's say with a specially designed products and advertising campaign. Then we have some definitions for 3.1 marketing, competition, and the consumer. Marketing is identifying the customer wants and satisfying them profitably. Customer is a person, business, or organization which buys goods or services from a business. Customer loyalty is when existing customer continually buy products from the same business. Customer relationships is communication with customers to encourage them to be loyal to the business and its products. Market share is a percentage of the total market shares held by one brand or business. A consumer buys goods or service for a personal use, not to resell. Mass market is where there's a very large number of sales in of a product. Niche market is a small, usually specialized segment of a much larger market. And market segment is an identifier subgroup of a whole market in which consumers have similar characteristics or preferences. And that's it for this 3.1 video for the first lesson for section 3 of IGCSE Business Studies. And in this 3.1 we look into the marketing, competition, and the consumer or the customer. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and found it useful, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe and comment down below if you have any questions or criticisms. And also check out my Instagram in the description for more daily content. And I hope you guys found it useful, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which is 3.2 of IGCSE Business Studies. Until then, stay safe and happy learning.